Shalom, friends. So Elul is known as the month of teshuvah, the month of return, where we work on ourselves to really cleanse ourselves and make the changes we want to make so that we can be ready for the big reset of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, customarily, people ask each other for forgiveness so that we can keep cleansing ourselves, right? And I was always surprised that we kind of dedicate such little time to such a deep process that usually demands a lot of time. And so I decided to offer this course with Or HaLev this year in Elul, really exploring what is forgiveness, right? And forgiveness to whom? And forgiveness, being asked and not being asked, and granted and not being granted, and forgiveness and reconciliation, and forgiveness towards God and life, right? So many dimensions of forgiveness, and basically our relationship to life and to our past and to people around us and to ourselves. And so for a little taste, I want to invite you to do a very short, very simple forgiveness practice with me right now. So I want to invite you to kind of settle, close your eyes maybe if you can, and taking a deep breath in. Beautiful breath out. And the time to come back to your own body, to your own sheket pnimi, to your own quiet, inner quiet. And first of all, seeing how available it is just by taking one breath. And so it's a very simple practice, and actually we're only going to do the first step of this practice right now. About something very almost trivial about everyday life. When someone annoys you, I don't know, in traffic, when you're stuck in traffic, or at the airport in a long line, at the supermarket, on a crowded beach, you name it. So I want to invite you to find a very recent example, nothing too dramatic, please. We are going to have the opportunity to go deeper during our course, but right now, just something really simple, right? But where there was some kind of friction and annoyance in the judgment of other people, and judgment maybe of ourselves for judging other people, right? This loop where then we don't just need to forgive someone else, we also need to forgive ourselves for not forgiving others, right? The inner judge. It's a very simple forgiveness practice that is really connected to people annoying us, offending us, getting in our way, maybe ourselves, right? So choosing one example, very recent example. I'm going back to this moment and starting by just observing what was your reaction then, what was your kind of spontaneous reaction then. And the invitation at this point and in this practice is actually not to try to forgive anyone, neither someone who misbehaved nor yourself. It's to kind of take a step back on the whole episode and actually even a step aside, leaving the question of forgiveness aside for a moment and just coming to meet something in us. Maybe somewhere where the upset came from. And that may be a need for quiet, right? That you were disturbed and maybe there was a need for quiet there, a need for respect for your own space. I'll invite you to kind of look for the need that you had in this moment that was not met. Because how can you forgive anyone, right? If first there is not something that is already appeased. And in order to appease yourselves, there's something there that needs to be met, that needs to be heard, and that needs to be met. So taking a moment to meeting this place from where the upset came from, because upset most of the time is a transformation of something deeper that was there. A need for security, a need for acknowledgement, a need for respect, a need for quiet. So coming to meet this need and just honoring it and just being with it. Maybe feeling what it does, right? What it would have done in this moment, for instance, if instead of turning, the aggression towards someone else or towards yourself, and when I'm saying the aggression, the inner aggression, right? Not meaning being outwardly aggressive, but like turning the upset outward or inward. If instead of doing this, directing the upset somewhere, we would just come and meet what is there that hasn't been met. What is there that needs to be met and that could be met right now? So that's the first step of a forgiveness practice, and we'll do many others. And we'll have different themes, right, throughout this month of Elul. And one of the sessions I'm going to be joined by James, who's going to be doing a wonderful session about letting go of the hope of having had a better past. And we're going to be exploring different dimensions of forgiveness with others, with ourselves, with life, with God. So I very, very, very much look forward to sharing with you this work that means so much to me and that I find to be so transformative and freeing, so that we can really, really together do teshuvah in Elul, to return to ourselves, return to the source, and clean ourselves and be ready for the high holidays. See you very soon on Zoom. The link to register is below in the comments. See you soon.